We are here to do nothing if it breaks up. Now, I will be doing the updates for the rest of the zodiac signs for Venus retrograde. I have been extremely busy with clientele, and I have been coming to you guys regularly in my pajamas while I'm doing my meditation. And one of my spiritual practices in the morning is very much waking up early, having the time to actually meditate. I have been getting a lot of emails in, and I am going to give you guys a little bit of an update as to some of the karmic frequencies. Definitely the Schumann resonance has been spiking, but you know what I uniquely find is I tend to feel the vibration the weeks before it really spikes. And then moving into it, you know, really ironically, usually I'm pretty damn grounded, which is really ironic. And I looked at it yesterday, it was 88, and it had spiked, you know, as other people had emailed me. And I do tend to check in now and then, you know, particularly where my frequency is, I'll go and actually check. There has been some common themes that have been coming through, and I wanted to come to you guys and actually talk to you guys about it. And, you know, at times you will actually see it with other readers. From a psychic perspective, I tend to live in the vibration of the energy. Hi, Louise. So I'll live in the energy, and I think it's a very healthy way to deal with your blockages and things that come up. Hi, Dale. So, you know, when you're sitting in the vibration, I have had many inbox messages and emails pertaining to, gee, you know, I'm really triggered. What is this vibration? You know, how am I going to deal with this? I've tried all the tools you've suggested. The thing is, if a vibration's coming up, you really need to live in it. You really need to get into, you know, because you never want to go back there again, right? So you're physically getting to the point you're going, heck, you know, where has this energy come from? Why is this coming up, sort of thing? When it comes up, sometimes as an empath, what you'll find is it can relate to a soul connection. It can relate to karmic energies. It can also be your very own personal spiritual blockage, right? So the work that we do on ourselves is very much linking into, hey, we never want to come back here again. Now, at a frequency sense, because a lot of people are in the stay-at-home energy, some that have actually done that for a long time, and that is directly connected to the awakening. You're used to it and you're monopolizing on that energy. It's a healthier way to actually use the energy. But each process, when we're purging, it's which uniquely Pluto is going to be going retrograde the 25th. It is where we have power and where we don't, you know. So it's the embodiment of that. It's the purge of the ego connected to that. I mean, it's the breaking down of that egoic cycle. What we do have control over is, it's almost like universe shows us a synchronistic way where we've been out of alignment. Fixated on where somebody is taking our power away. If you can actually chakra activate it, especially seen as Venus in shadow is actually in Gemini, so it's very much linking in with your communication. But, you know, if you're looking at the wider group energy, you know, Saturn at the moment is at a very close degree of Aquarius, so it's taking on those themes of what 2021 will look like. But at the same time, there is this frequency going on where we're feeling very stifled, very disempowered. You can work with that energy, and feeding into that is very similar to victim consciousness. And I'm not saying, you know, people aren't and we're not. And there has been a lot of heart chakra activation. So, you know, at times out of nowhere, you may feel very emotional and very connected into the collective, and at an empath level, you know, feel really pulled and drawn towards, you know, one particular theme. It might be homelessness. It might be, you know, what can we do as a wider group? It can be, you know, helping the population, looking at something from a different perspective. Let's place it that way. With the purge and some of the themes that have been coming on, it has almost been very similar to the Paramore song, you know, ignorance is your new best friend. It's like some are handling the energy better than others. Others are really battling with it, and you find when you are purging, it's almost like, and you've got to go back to your heydays, right? You've got to go back to the days where you were having a temper tantrum when you were younger, and you had felt that power was taken from you. And it was almost like this deeply frustrating scenario where you couldn't articulate how you felt. And because of that, it felt very suppressive, very heavy energy, so to speak. some can be moving into that energy. And at a collective level, you will find that a lot of people that are really struggling in the domain of being stuck at home and that energy to a degree, instead of shifting that energy onto something that you directly can control, they're really either A, looking at it like, what's the problem, or B, looking at it from a perspective of, well, that's it, total life has to stop until after the fact, which again can be a synchronistic energy, right? So when you do look at it, Buddhists do teach that every storms are happening every day, right? And this is a theory of spirituality in life, that if a storm is happening, it's almost like, do we have to wither the storm? And I do believe even the energy of Abraham Hicks comes to mind. It's being in the fluid energy of accepting every vibration that's occurring and everything is as it's supposed to be. But almost our ego, in a sense, due to fear-based frequency, will get into a position where we're going, there's no way this can be possible, that a beautiful scenario can directly come out of it. Yet, ironically, most of the times through my spiritual process that I've found has been absolutely the polar opposite. When I've directly tried to deal with things and it's been very, very hard, and I've tried to maybe push it in a particular way, or I've tried to move it, and you could say even manipulate, but it's like, okay, how can I realign everything? Very fourth house placement, psychological foundation, change is happening, you reorganize yourself, and then something comes about, to the point where if that's happening to you in your life, there is a common denominator energy. And the way you've got to go about it is, has this theme been coming up for me regularly? Is it pertaining to a particular individual, or is it, and if it is, there will be a mirror effect in it of a belief you hold to do with the direct situation. That's where your power is, and that's where linking and doing spiritual work is important. When it's in general a theme, gosh, no sooner do I actually achieve finances, it goes away again, or no sooner do I get in a connection, a repetitious pattern occurs. You've got to look at how it's linking in, right? And that's how you can break that cycle, because with the nodes moving from Cancer and Capricorn into Gemini and Sagittarius, there's going to be a lot of accountable energy. We look at the themes of what we've been having for the last 2.5 years, and we definitely have a lot of eclipses this year. So eclipses can change weather patterns. They also hold 6 months to 12-month frequencies of transformation cycles. And with the Cancer Capricorn eclipses, it was our tribe, it was our family, it was from where we work from, it was our belief systems in those connections, our home. You could have been trying to balance home and family, and it just wasn't working, and you were learning new things through that over the last 2.5 years. And then the Capricorn frequency can be the devil in the detail. It's also government energies, and potentially where we had codependency connected to maybe government payments and things to that degree, banking systems, infrastructure. And we see that on a global level of how that's transforming. And definitely with the eclipses shifting, you can see transformations of that. And we tend to actually look at things, and we're all very unique, and really, being connected and with source is very much coming into a perspective of accepting all people. But frustratingly so, it's occurring to all people. There's no prejudice there. So with this transformation, new themes that can be coming through, when we look at the notion of Venus, it's very much romance, it's, how we connect in with it. And we're going to be learning new ways of actually having connections, which particularly are going to be very non-codependent. And the reason I say that is because the Gemini energy is a very independent energy. It's very social, it's very playful. It likes to be independent. And, really on soul paths, we do actually find in scripts stating that you need to be very independent, very accepting and loving. Buddhists, Christianity and all of that really does show that energy where it's for the good, the bad. You're accepting the light and the dark, and you're working with that direct energy. And very similar to what's happening right now, we are experiencing this. Some of us in an egoic state are really struggling through it. But don't feel angry at yourself for that, because it can be past life energy, it can be current tense, can be triggering an old wound that you went through. But you're going to learn something, and it's really going to transform you into a very beautiful energy. I also talked to my partner this morning, and we were talking about different themes that are coming up at the moment, and people can be quite frightened about it. Definitely because of the pandemic. You know, there's been tracking and there's been watching of us, and we can be very paranoid about that. And in any situation, there's light and dark. I mean, similar to, how would I place it? It's a bit like looking at the heydays where we were listening to a particular genre of music, and then, you know, as we evolve, that music has changed, and we no longer relate to it. Yet there's other people that can and the real strong energies are the ones that realize that we can live through anything. But, you know, humanity is a very interesting thing. So the way I look at things is I don't tend to look at it from the perspective of this is taking my power away. I look at it more from a perspective of humans are very strong and they will always find a way. And I can say to manipulate the matrix. So there's no perfect system. There's no perfect way that all things could be manipulated, and the energies of souls are really transforming. And definitely with the way things are going, it's teaching us a unique aspect of ourselves that we've never seen before. And again, you can't ever learn that new energy about yourself with actually experiencing a vibration. And that's sort of like where the empath energy comes from. Sometimes we don't understand why another person reacted in a particular way at a lower frequency. It can be with betrayals, it can be with habits, it can be with addictions. You know, unless we can actually place ourselves in their direct position, or B, vibrationally through that. But we can never completely know, because each human being will experience that vibration in a very unique personal way. So loss to one person can be hold a particular vibration, and loss to another can hold another. And like for me personally, being psychic and being very connected in, I don't tend to look at the energy of transcendence the same as particular energies. You know, you do go into the humanistic experience, hi guys, where you can physically feel the energy of loss, but it's not loss because everything in a vibrational sense is an experience. So it's sort of like a reminder that you had, and it's a reminder that you remember. But it's also fair-based frequency going into the new of how that's going to feel after the fact. Now, you may find, for those of you on a soul path at the moment, karmic energies are coming through in a very unique way. And, you know, I've always mentioned this. Karmic energy is sort of like the laws of attraction. We are a magnet, and we will attract that. We will see patterns in it. We can mirror counterpart energy, and we will attract these energies. You'll find when you're doing that, you're upgrading, Dale. So when you get to the point where you're eating a lot, you're going to need your energy for a lot of things. So it'll come through in a sense where you'll be eating a lot, and then you'll be directly pushing that energy into situations to push you forward. And then when we go into light body frequency, it's we're directly purging a direct situation. And yeah, again, the sugar energy is to spike it up, and you'll be needing that more so because of the Schumann resonance. So when we're having a purgatory experience at a collective level, you'll need the quick go-to, you know, energy to spike you, but it's really trying to transfer it into something that is going to be more there will be no doom scenarios. Again, everything is frequency. There's no perfect dynamic. I mean, even at a collective level, if we look at it, let's just break it down. We have 6 eclipses this year. It's not very often you have 6 eclipses. Each eclipse cycle does bring in 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after heavy weather patterns. Yes, potentially. But again, it's a bit similar to the Tower card and the Tarot. If something is built on a faulty foundation, we're going to see, aren't we? And Pluto's going retrograde. That shows us where those things are. So, yes, moving into June, July, we have 3 eclipses back to back. And as it is, 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out, you tend to get a bit of a shift, and with Saturn and Pluto retrograde, you'll find theoretically things slow down, but this is more the quality system time. So it's the time to actually assess over those areas and fine-tune things. It's when Jupiter goes retrograde, you'll find that energy would be more difficult. But Mars, really, when it does, you'll probably have a pocket time to optimize. But really, I do look at these things as a complete shake-up moving into 2021. So, whether we wish to bounce start, don't not do something. So, if there is something you can directly do in your day to push your energy forward, focus on that. If it's more eating the organic foods to get your, chakra systems aligned and get your health in order, definitely you'll have more time now to actually be looking at those things. There has been things that have been written on the news where a lot of people have been getting to the point where fast food has been the way to go. And when I say that, I mean more, the processed food groups, which is actually quite concerning, because you tend to find that with spikes and that, we've got the time at home where we can actually be cooking those things, where we can actually be, it's a bit like eat, pray, love. Getting to a place where we're actually getting reconnected to the food, reconnected to the people in our tribe, Mercury energy, focusing in on the people that maybe we're having karma with, and then looking at that and seeing whether A, we have learned that karmic lesson, B, it's directly for them, because you will go through a stage where you'll actually remove people from your life simply because you don't vibrate at their frequency, and it becomes very stifling. I went through that, and then it did come back where I reconnected with those energies. But for me, the way I look at it is very similar to spiritual growth. Don't feel that a tower moment is not repair. Sometimes when you have no direct situation or solution, so to speak, sometimes it does mean releasing it and letting go and allowing the cards to fall where they're supposed to fall. And I do feel with some karmic energies right now, there is really that theme playing out. It's very heavy in a sense with that energy. And there does seem to be particular lessons connected in with tribe energy. And that will be because the nodes are going to be moving in May. We're then moving into June, where the eclipses are going to start coming through. We're going to have one in Sagittarius, I believe. Then I think it's in Cancer. Yep, 0 degrees, the critical degree. So it'll be a brand new beginning. And it is a new moon, so yes, it is a brand new beginning. And then it moves over to July, where we're going to have the full moon in Capricorn, again, a shake up within the energy of the way society has handled things. So it can be a complete change. And then a new moon, again, in Cancer. So with the spikes with the Schumann resonance, if you've been handling it, you would have felt the energy a week ago building. But you'll find even if at a very small level, when it's spiking and dropping, that's when you're going to get that motion sickness. Some of you would have been even experiencing a bit of nausea lately, almost like hormonal fluctuations. Some of you, your cycles might actually be shifting about where you're getting it twice in a month. But again, it's because we're moving into light body frequency. We're having these ascension symptoms and spikes. And just shift your energy onto doing things that actually help you work. So if you're moving into the garden, you're getting connected. Yep, you're tapping into your creative energy. It's balancing your inner child wounds, and it's balancing your power energy. And you want to be doing that before Pluto goes retrograde, because your inner child wounds are going to come up when it does come to empowerment and your fair-based frequency. So all your lower chakras, get those energies into alignment. Also, there's been a bit of blurred vision lately. And again, I do feel it's directly connected to the spike in the energy. Yeah, I've been doing my vegetable garden. I've ended up separating the seedlings and really spreading them out. My daughter actually had become a bit more grounded where she joined me in the garden. It was the way I could connect in with her. She could tell me all her stories that usually are 20 hours long. She's very much like her mother. And I could connect in with the ground to keep me grounded, and we were just, bouncing off each other, and kept me very productive during the day. But that's something we can do that keeps us grounded. that create, yeah, popping in the ears as well. I've had that. And it's almost like masculine, feminine energy, because it has been, again, the overactive energy. When you got one side, it's very overactive. So if you've been doing a lot of 3D work, a lot of male-orientated chores and things like that, and yeah, we could say gardening is, but not really. It's still connecting in with nature, etc. You'll find that there can be an overactive energy of masculine or feminine, and it's about balancing both of those out. Sometimes if you have been extremely busy, it directly relates into the fact that you're avoiding it, similar to waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's you're needing to sit and meditate. You're needing to sit and allow the feelings to flow. So when you're majorly busy, you'll find that you're not feeling the energy at all, because it's avoidance energy. But it's 9 times out of 10 it won't be intentional. But if the universe feels that you're energetically ready to deal with the vibration, they're going to wake you up, and you will feel very unsettled. Bone energies have been very, very heavy at the moment, where your lower back, again, the base chakra, very Saturn orientated, and particularly it can be Jupiter because of the growth and the expansion, but it's the foundation. Bones, knees, back, achy bones, and teeth as well, because Saturn really connects them with teeth. You'll find those frequencies coming up, but definitely psychology at the moment. And I am seeing a lot of things play out really in an emotional sense, where you might be seeing people coming from a very egoic presence. Try not to micromanage them. Allow them to experience their vibration, because it is a process spiritually. Yeah, I'm like, I've tried to put a board under my bed, but it's no matter what I'm doing. So, it comes and goes, but it's more to do with, I notice more so it's near the transformation of the planets, shifting back and forward. So it's almost like your cycle will move, and that your bones, you'll at a frequency level feel that. Do pay attention to your health as well, because you do find when you're really reaching a point in your spiritual process, you will become very depleted. And I know for me, reaching union with self, I did get to a point I ended up going and having a full medical done. Look at my foofy hair. A full medical, because I did become very iron deficient at the time, because you do tend to move into, people say, oh, I'd never be a vegetarian. It really wasn't a choice. For those of you that are very early on a spiritual path and awakening, it's not like you may not have been a vegetarian, but it does move to the point where your body just can't handle it. You just purge it. You get to a point you can't handle it. You will reach a point where some of you will reintegrate, meat products and things to that degree, more for your blood. And I ate a lot of kale, a lot of mushrooms and things like that. And, my counterpart definitely is a meat eater, very masculine. But yeah, we're balancing both now. We're trying to, both of us, energetically balance both. But you do find that you can and you may reintegrate it, but you'll listen to your body. So you'll know when you have to, and then you'll move back into light body frequency and, move into that. How are we all doing? The Kundalini also has been really activating for me personally, and I have found even the burning sensation, through the chakra system on the shoulders, and I call them the angel wings, so to speak, that's really been, as I've been purging things and just embodying being in, unity with myself, it's been really sparking and, moving down. You will come into a place where you move back into very 3D energy. And you can do that for a while. And when I say that, we do need to be in the 3D because we're here to actually learn and experience vibrations. But when it becomes too overwhelming, and we're looking ahead, we do tend to get into the frequency of having that interconnection. Now, astral travel is very large at the moment as well. And I am seeing a lot of timeline jumping. I'm also seeing masculine energies a little bit frustrated, wanting to get a hurry up with things, wanting to move things forward, but a bit nervous as to how some scenarios are going to play out. And it's almost moving into embodying the acceptance of how they've transformed. And I guess I should go inside and pull a few cards while we're here. How are we doing? Yes, it is interesting times, but every point in our life is very interesting, really, isn't it? And I'm hoping this isn't going to go blurry. God, you'd think I was doing 100 miles an hour on here. I've been moving the office around and I've been cleaning up, getting ready for the Pluto energy, so to speak. I didn't plug that in. Yes, I'm moving things around the office, so it's a bit echoey. I'm sorry. I'm getting my boards ready so I can be more organised, and then I can just come to you guys. I created a secondary room as well. Probably should have stayed outside. It's a bit loud in here. Sound is good. Yeah, I have moved things around. I'm going to put charts on the wall so that I can just go straight. You know how it's been, guys. I've been ending up looking for charts and things. I was like, there's an easier way. I'm a Libran. I do not like clutter. I can't stand clutter. Make your life easy. Put things away. You know, if you hate cleaning, put things away. Reduce it. You know, reduce your plates. Yeah, I'm getting the house all weatherproofed, ready for winter, because we're moving into winter over here, and it will be a very wet one to my belief. Yeah. It's funny, there are times when you move furniture from a psychological point of view. It can be to get ready and nest because there's changes happening, but it can also be because you can feel unsettled with the environment. And I think mine spiritually is more to do with the lack of organisation. It's driving me crazy. I don't, you know, I am a very organised person, and when I'm not, it irritates me. Okay. Ooh, okay, what's happening this week? I will do another update later because I know some people will be thinking this is a bunch of gib-gab, and we will get into the energy of doing, you know, a separate. I think I'll do 3 different videos, but I'll leave it at the moment till I've finished the Venus retrograde energies. Then I'll come back and I'll do another update. Let's see what's coming through for the twins. Soul path energy, overall energy. Okay, we are in the crowning energy of walk your truth, and it does break down to an 8 infinity. Still do need to reply to the lovely lady on my website because I did the Venus retrograde ticket event on Facebook. So I'll be responding to her soon. I will be hosting those events regularly on there. So just, you know, if you're very similar to Super Chat, what energy is coming up for the twins? Okay, I'm already seeing there is a lot of meditation happening at the moment with counterpart energies. You know, both of you collectively are going through a it's almost like an accounting system, you know, a mental processing system. It's most of I'm feeling the energy almost like you guys, how do I place it? You're thinking of the past, but you're also a bit nervous about the future, but nervous from a perspective of you wish not to actually repeat patterns. And some of you potentially are wondering, and I feel it's probably moving into May. We are going to have the full moon in Scorpio, and I think it's almost that Scorpio, and Scorpio is linking in very similar to Pluto, and Pluto will be going retrograde. So it's like, you know, this delusional state, very Neptune, because we had Neptune making aspects to the shadow energy of Venus. Almost like this distorted energy of superstition, very superstitious. It's like almost like intuitively feeling something's been hidden. And it can even be from yourself, like, you know, trying to understand yourself, trying to understand what you're tuning into, how you're feeling, or what your guides are trying to show you almost. Yeah, because there's reversal energies coming up, and not even tuning into the gut, just psychically looking at them, it just feels as though a lot of you are feeling there is something coming, but you're a bit nervous about what it is. You're almost tuning into maybe it feels scary, but I don't feel like doomsday or anything like that. I'm tuning in more to the romantic connection moving forward, how that looks, how that feels. But you feel something's hidden, and there could be like a resurrection of some situation that can cause a challenge within the vibration of it. That's what I'm feeling. Way too much here. It's so funny. I mentioned for Venus retrograde, don't be cutting your hair around this time. It's probably not a great time to do that. So many people have said it. And I contacted a partner the other day, my counterpart, and I said, I'm feeling a little bit rebellious. And I'm sure some of you guys have been feeling that way. And I was like, I want to cut my hair off. And he said to me, I thought you said don't cut your hair at this time. I said, yeah, that's probably why I want to do it. Very Capricorn, right? The devil card in the tarot. It's like, I play with fire. Oh, okay, masculines. Wow. Remember, the further into the journey you get, you must be looking at the energy of masculine within you. You may be feeling very disconnected to it, connected to employment, career, job, movement, ambition. This is very Jupiter energy. Hi, Mark. How are you? I'm telling you. External energy. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can. I won't be on here very long. I won't be on here. I've got a few people to talk to today, but I also do have to do videos. Okay. External energy. Oh, God. Well, it kind of does make sense, yes. And I will end up seeing dates in here because I do very much. Yep, I'm already seeing dates. External. Okay. Crowding energy at the moment between counterpart energies. And this is also, the further into the journey of ascension you get, you must look at the energy of masculine and feminine inside yourself as well. So yes, stories and themes will come out, but then look at it and see if it's your mindset of maybe how you're looking at it, or separately how you need to upgrade energies inside yourself, because it can actually balance the connection out. Now, it does break down to an 8. So the theme at the moment, again, Venus in shadow moving into retrograde on May 13th. You're going to get themes again, because this is counterpart energy, infinity. 8, again, I do feel this does make sense, and I'll explain why, because I'm also seeing August being important, but it's not that things aren't changing, but I'll tell you the reason why that's coming up. The reflection back. You feel, this is an energy where you feel it's now or never, yay or nay. Again, yes, again, this can be an egoic energy, but there could be some major themes at the moment that you're really needing to look at. And it's like, okay. And I just kept hearing all morning, level up, level up. And I do feel it's probably because of Pluto, right? This can be your thought, and I do feel for many, if you're looking at counterpart energy and you're feeling that, look at yourself and say, okay, and I'm not saying that you're not leveled. Is there something that you feel unfinished, or is the mirror there? But this is the in-between energy, and I do feel, even at an intuitive level, you guys might be sensing that this repressed, held down, paused energy, it feels like a slingshot to me. So whatever's going to be coming up, if communication's coming in, nervous energy is raising, I feel you're going to intuitively know when you're going to hear from this individual. Now, this separation energy, be it you're in the connection or you're not, the love is at the heart of it. It's this deep separation energy. Now, the separation can come from a point of paranoia linking with Venus retrograde. The universe is never going to take from you what is supposed to be there. And I was even researching it, what is the success rate of relationships during Venus retrograde? Now, I do know that when Juno is retrograde, very similar to Venus, because Juno is actually Saturn's daughter, it's a very feminine energy, and the Jupiter energy and Mars really can link in with masculines. When you're looking at that, whenever it went retrograde and direct, there was a huge transformation in my life. Now, it didn't mean it was a forever situation, but definitely the transformation within myself was. So I am seeing this fear-based frequency at the heart of it coming up about alignment and where we want to be. And again, Juno, 7th house, marriages, contracts, partnerships, Mercury energy, communication coming in, reflecting back on the way we talk, our routine, all of these things pulling together to actually reach this point where we're moving forward. And this is decisive energy about what is and what isn't valuable. This can be homes changing, decorating, happy home, relationships balancing out. Again, the Taurus energy at the moment, on the 27th, we've got Mercury in Taurus. It's about all the finer things. It's very Venus as well. So we've got, Venus in Gemini. We had Mercury in Aries. It then bounced into, on the 27th, it will bounce into Mercury in Taurus, which is the assessment of those things, which is very similar to Venus retrograde. You tend to get the rose-colored glasses on. But again, it's more, I feel you guys are being very realistic, very to the point where you're looking at it. If I've missed any super chats, I'll check back, but we'll do those at the end. Very much to the point where you know exactly where you want to go. You know exactly what you want. If you're not knowing that, I do feel through this process, you're both going to work it out. There is this thing about seeing the light and the dark, though. And I feel this is to do with almost the Capricorn energy, the devil in the detail, and getting a gist and really seeing the contrast in situations. Many of you, there has been a codependent energy. So somebody either was codependent on you or and really seeing that thing of codependency coming up. Fear-based frequency due to what's happening in the collective. Very much karmic energies, tuning into those. Again, I'm saying we're seeing the light from the dark. This can be our shadow energy, but I'm feeling more at an external level, both masculine and feminine. I'm going to be viewing these things and potentially getting to a point where you're more grateful about where you actually are. You're also going to be tuning into tricksters and the energy, thanks, Sweet, and the energy of maybe what's been hidden from you, who's manipulating you, what people are using in a sense of their words. This can even be with your masculine, right? But this, again, can be assessment of the codependent energy of the past and how you maybe came to it a bit like a chess game, right? Okay, if I do this, this will be the outcome. Release that, because it does not prevent you from experiencing things. The power you physically have, masculine and feminine, is very much within having to address areas. And I do feel there's a few areas that are going to come up that have not completely kind of balanced. Now, with that balance, it's getting to a place where you're going, okay, this really hasn't shifted. It needs to shift. We need to address this. And I mean, Giggle used a beautiful analogy the other day, which I did, end up bringing up. And it's like addressing the elephant in the room. Thank you, Giggle. And I know, I've always said that Giggle should actually write a quote book, but, thanks for that. So we're addressing the elephant in the room. Whatever that be, that could be, okay, I thought we were going that way and the pause button's being pushed. And I'm not talking about hermit mode. I'm talking about the in general energy. So on a bigger gist of things, looking at it and going, oh, I think we need to address the elephant in the room here. Like, let's look at this. I do feel there's a codependent energy here, but you intuitively know this. Now, both of you are linked in to this, and I'm also seeing a viewpoint of the way your path should be going forward and what the obstacle is. I almost feel you guys know exactly what the obstacle is. Some of you, this can, don't think that the only thing blocking you guys is communication. It's the start. That's the pebble in the road. I mean, if that was the only thing that was holding things back, try and disconnect from that because it's not real. Your communication in the past, you've gone in and out of communication. It hasn't solved things. You want that transformation of energy, the money where putting your money where the mouth is energy. So, and then you discover other situations of where you guys are very similar and where you guys maybe have different ideals and belief systems, and where to go from that. And I do feel the more these energies are moving, especially with the node shifting into Sagittarius, I'm really seeing the masculine awakening and going on this self-discovery energy road. So with these burdens, yeah. Okay. I'm seeing both of you in your past and potentially with something that you're ready to walk away from at a very karmic level. It's gone, but it's an old energy. This can be finalization of paperwork, finalization of making peace with the past situation. I'm not just talking about connected to twin. This is a separate energy. These are separate situations in your own lives that you're directly looking at and you're making peace with them. You know deep down what's moving. Like the past is the past. You're wanting more to do with the future now. Yes, you're looking at it, but you're like, no, you don't want that. You don't want to keep repeating that pattern. So you're sending a different frequency. You've also lost faith in a person that was deeply manipulative. And again, I'm not seeing this as twin. These are people in your own life, separate to twin, that have manipulated you. This can even be how you related to it, because you were made to be something you directly weren't. It can be. Now I'm going through that too. It can be. Perfect timing, right? Venus retrograde. I feel some, okay, now there's a story coming through in the connection, right? With the Queen of Cups energy, I feel it's very divine feminine being, intuitive being, very connected in, very empathic in a sense, doing the inner child work. There's a lot of yellow, daisies, really going through a spiritual process that do you, don't you love me? And the clarification card was, you maybe felt like you really weren't thought of. You were thinking, and you realized you had to fill your cup. You realized that you had to address your own spiritual needs. And that could be something that you're doing right now. There can be for some of you that are further back in the path that you're actually looking at those wounds and dealing with abandonment, that you're feeling you're not thought of, you're not considered, and it comes up, right? I'll stop now. I'm feeling like I've been drained through. Yeah. Yeah, it's, you do get to the point though, doll, when you're purging, you just think, God, can I go on? And you get so tired, and I say this all the time, you will get to a peaceful place, because it's almost like you feel like you're in the punching ring and you're going over it in your mind. You're going over the wounds, and then other people in the scenario will come up in your mind to the point you get so tired, you just go, it was what it was, and bang, everything moves. It's so weird. You get so tired of thinking about it, you just want to be able to rest, that your body's telling you, have you finished punching yourself up about this, or punching them up in your mind? And then you get tired, and then you release it, and you feel this innate peace, which you would have been in that place anyway, going up and down. So both of you, masculine and feminine light, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And the reason I say that is, at the moment, it feels like a blocked road. Yeah. It feels like a blocked road. Many of you wanted to be together, but there were scenarios playing it around you. And it was almost like trying to find that right door handle of the right way to move around things. And knowing that, this is the good part. This is why this happens. And I noticed this the other day, and I kind of laughed about it. I was really wondering why, in a sense, for the karmic frequency, why it had to play out that way. But it's kind of funny, because when you do release it, and you just relax into it. You're allowing them to have a bird's eye view of how you acted with integrity the whole way through, and, you know, unconditional love, blah, 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 blah. Then karmic energies was not so. But again, it's not that you don't understand, because you've been where they've been in some shape or form, where we've been hurt, betrayed, confused, maybe a little bit codependent. So, you know, viewpoint, let's not tune into them, though, in a sense that they're moving along. Let's find out what this is about. What is this energy about for masculines and feminines, please? The ending of a cycle, and it's like, it's almost this release. And I do feel this is around Pluto retrograde. Anything where you guys are being stuck, I do feel this is a frequency where you're going to go, look, we've got to face this. There's something that needs to go because it's over, right? We've got to let it go. This can be the pain. This can be the feeling. This can be a karmic energy. However this lands for you, I am feeling it's an external situation that is blocking you from making peace with it to move forward. The foundation is your ability to manifest. This is also where you're feeding, what you're watering, right? What are you watering? Are you watering the memory? Are you watering the pain? And the waterworks come in anyway. But it's like decisive action. Yeah, moving away from misfortune, looking at brighter things. 7 of Wands. Okay. It's so strange. This makes complete sense. Look, what are you defending? You got the pain, right? Got the pain. And that's what I was picking. It's like, if you move on, will you forget this person? Potentially not. If you go, you know, you could get the same drama with somebody else. Just, okay. So some of you are like, do you stay? Do you go? Do you wait? Do you move forward? What do you put your energy into? You know, I had a lovely lady the other day. She says, I just want to have a normal life and, you know, plant a garden. And I had that. I had that moment where I was very similar. And then I understood. It was like, why can't I do that? With or without. So I planted a garden. And, you know, I can take my garden with me. That's my work. That's my soul healing. It's this beautiful picture we paint of how it's going to be is almost like, because believe me, I know, 20 odd years on the journey, horrendous as heck, growth as no tomorrow. But the thing is, you do find, you do change through the whole way, right? The magician energy, many of you are like, I just want a normal bloody life. I just want a normal life. I'm sick of this adversity. I'm sick of this purging. I want to have the white picket fence, which is initially where I was many moons ago. And then, you know, I met Twin, which I knew I was going to make Twin. I don't know how. I just did. And then I was like, okay, my life as I know it will never be the same again. I'm stuffed. It's never going to be the same again, which it never was. Through the process of the pain, you're actually quite baffled as to how big the heart is. It's quite disgusting to discover, I might add. You're like, wow, okay, where did that extra energy come from? Where did that extra love come from, right? You'll be surprised. If you're a true counterpart, you'll be thinking, am I a Martian? Where did I find that? Was it hiding under my sleeve? Then you're moving into the 7 of Wands. Okay, this is what I'm going to break down for you guys. I went through this, but again, it's all in the eye of the beholder. What have you reached in your mind in a sense of a conclusion? Because you think to yourself, you're not in a relationship, right? And this is for those of you in complete separation. Okay, what additional things are you wanting? You initially will move into the 5D and you'll be having a connection, which is very safe, might I add. And that's why a lot of the downloads energetically, you really move into a particular point in the journey where you're spending a lot of time in 5D. And it's like you're seeing it, it's almost like you're yearning for it to manifest down, magician energy in the 3D. But at a synchronistic level, it's almost like it can only ever be there because that's the only safe space. Then you actually get mad with that. You're like, sod that. You got it there, it's safe, you get it down here, you want that. But at the same time, it's like, oh, it ends. So what's the point? It's like, but then it comes back again. So you kind of feel like a yo-yo. Then you look at the energy of working on your magician energy. And this is for both masculine and feminine, which I've actually looked at so heavily, trust me. In the magician energy, I had many lovely teachers work with me and I had a lot of egoic purges. When you are worried about something, you have a stuck frequency. You then look at the 5D, and trust me, you will get to this. You will get to this. You no longer want to connect into the 5D because you understand your worth. And that is because you say, as long as I know they're happy, as long as I know they're not messing with me, which you have control over as well at the end of it when you've grown, peace, love, and light, I'm ready for a 3D. When you're ready for the 3D relationship, you might even get to a point where you say to yourself, okay, and this is where many of you are at, you're in the T section in the road. Do you stay? Do you go? But then if they come back, would it get messy? Probably, which is karmic energies, right? I've always said this with my coaching. If you are still thinking about that person, do not enter into another commitment because A, you will cause more dramas and karma. Plus, you'll be hurt, and then if they come back, it'll cause mess. If you can reach a peaceful state where you are completely at peace, and you are open to a vibration coming towards you in a romantic sense, and you can say, okay, I did all I could. Now, this person is coming towards me. If I feel a like energy and you're open to it, you can go and experience that, but you're in correct vibration. You're in correct alignment. So it's not you're waiting for them, but in the initial stages, it can feel very resentful because you're thinking, oh, and then you come to a peaceful place and you realize, again, this depends on where you are on the journey. This sort of feels like it's playing out this way. I feel both energies of I'll deem the ones that are either in union, reunion, or about to come in to union, right? First, it's going to happen with you. Then it will happen. You'll be at peace. You'll feel cuckoo, trust me. You'll feel very peaceful. You'll be like, yeah, I just understand why everything happened. It's a bit like having, a bit of an out-of-body experience. Then you're moving into manifestation. If it's meant for me, it'll come. And if it's not, I'm safe. That's beautiful. But it's the laws of attraction. It's vibration alignment. Some of you, however, need to look at, you kind of want them there, but then you're scared of it. You've got to look at the reasons why. What are you defending? If you're defending your heart, and I'm going to pull a chakra card. If you're scared, there's going to come up a reason. It could be because of Venus retrograde. It could be. I just saw the heart chakra card. So, yeah, many of you, you're protecting your heart. You're like, I don't want you to break me again. In my dreams, we have made 1-year contract. Then tune into that and ask. Tune into that, doll, and ask, do you feel 1 year is long? Because I'm not feeling a year. Thanks, who blocked them? Hello, but bye. Yeah, it is. It's the heart chakra activation. Now, the heart chakra did come out, but many of you, again, you're not trusting your intuition. And you do need to come to a peaceful place where You grasp the concept that your intuition doesn't protect you from experiencing adversity. It's almost like we form this very bad relationship with our intuition. That's males and females. If I knew, this would have never happened. Well, it's not your job to micromanage another person. It's your job to just be yourself. Very similar to if something's being hidden from you, and that can be another superstitious energy coming in. Very Neptunian at the moment. You know, is this dream real? Can it be? Can't it be? The reason that's playing out is because Neptune is making aspects to Venus at the moment. So your throat chakra also can be going. Detach from what you don't have control over. Let go of the steering wheel. The steering wheel is on your side of the fence of how you're coming to the thing. When we hear the term, they best come correct, again, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. And the only reason I say that is because that never protected me. The expectations is, you know, do you have an expectation on you? Because 9 times out of 10 when we're having expectations from another person, it's because the storyline doesn't look too hot. It looks pretty damn awful. And then the potentiality of that being disastrous, double-sided sword, you're kind of like, oh, okay. I do feel many of you, if your throat's going in and out, it's because you're ready to hear from Counterpart, but it's because they're tuning into how to articulate that. Because again, Venus is in Gemini and it's Mercury, which is throat chakra. Ask the question to yourself, is this my masculine? You know, and you'll find it'll come and go. Once you tune into the factor that it could be another person's energy at a psychic level you've tapped into, you'll find, do some breathing exercises and blow it out. It will then balance out and it'll go. Okay? So with this energy, what you're going to find is at a point your intuition was damaged. So now look at that, because we need our intuition right, and we have to have a great relationship with our body, with ourselves. It's us who makes ourselves feel safe, truthfully. Very hard lesson to learn. So I had to look at that after betrayals and hurts, and I was like, oh, if my bloody intuition served me, this would have never happened. Which again is potentially because Pluto's going retrograde. Our power, disempowerment can come up. When that came up for me, I looked at it and I thought, well, was it really my job to micromanage another person and their behavior? No. And then later, I then looked at it and went, okay, well, no, when has my intuition served me well? Well, pertaining to my career, pertaining to when I thought I'd hear from someone, that's my intuition. Well, it's been working fine, so what's the problem? The reason I didn't sense certain things is because I was in alignment. I was removing codependent energy. I was removing the energy of micromanaging or enabling or looking at that person for a bit. Yes, victim consciousness was there from a rescuer point of view, but not from the perspective of, I need to know what you're doing 24/7. Very karmic, right? And yes, the old energy of me was like that at a point, but then it was stifling. It was very fatiguing. And I had, you know, hobbies and family and tribe, and so that to me was very important. So I shifted my perspective. So therefore, you cannot be angry at your intuition, because the intuition was not the problem, nor were you the problem, because the secondary stage is then you have to get into a grounded space and look at it and go, yes, theoretically it happened to you, but it's past, right? So now we need to look at it from a third position. Why did that happen? But again, if you're saying it's just because of you, it's not. Similar to a breakup. Where are my props? Okay. Codependency, example. One can say, I'm having a crappy day, so I have a busy day. This is a nice codependent energy. I have a busy day, so gosh, I'm very tired. In order to get through my day, I'm going to have to smash myself with coffee. It's the Band-Aid, right? But the real problem is I haven't managed my schedule. And I didn't get enough sleep. That's 2 things. So I've located the 2 reasons why the behavioral energy came through. So when you're looking at a counterpart and something has come through, yeah, I know. Well, I did have the chess pieces, but I gave them away. I'm going to have to buy them again. And the other one that I bought, it's packed somewhere and I can't find it. So anyway, so the next one is, if a person had left a karmic, came to you, and the healing hadn't been completed, they're not with you and they're not with the karmic, ever. Does that make sense? Okay, the reason why is because if the person is trying to be something for somebody, they're trying to be something for the karmic, they're trying to be something for you, they're not in union with self, right? So you can't, sort of, I was more angry at myself because I was like, okay, where have I needed to heal? And, because, sometimes you come out of a relationship, you're getting to a point where you're getting grounded, and then you're looking at an opportunity and you could be handed a career. You've just, example, you've been sacked, right? And you're going, God, that was my hopes and my dreams, and I've been working at that for 10 years. And you're feeling so overwhelmed and you're going through the 7 stages of healing. And then the job of your lifetime comes along, but you're potentially going to sabotage it because you're still coming to terms with that over there. But it's not even about that over there anymore. You're questioning your intuition. You're questioning yourself. How did that happen to me? What if that happens again? I've just got the job of my lifetime, but they took that away and I worked so hard. Now I've done nothing. Magician energy. And it's been handed to me, so how can I trust that? Example. Masculines are letting go of a past tense energy. They're moving into their strength, okay? But they're dealing with egoic energies around them. They're also realizing some very important things. They know what is out of balance. They know what fell down and the reasons why. They're in correct judgment energy. They're seeing things. They've had this assessment. They're reaching a completion. It's a 9-10 card, which breaks down to a 10. They're breaking it down. They're removing that. They're making peace with it. They're moving back into looking at where they gave energy to certain situations, looking at where they had ego connected to it. Again, we as feminines can do this, where we look at our work domain, or when we're looking at it, there's reflection going on, but it's gone, right? But the judgment energy is coming up. And that does make sense because Juno is going direct in May. Juno. Feminines. Where's yours? Understand when you're in balance and when you're in union with self is 2 energy, you're in yin and yang. We're moving in Gemini energy. Don't get fixated on, oh my gosh, it's the twins. The reason I say that is because if you really understand how Gemini operates, it's not codependent. Can you handle that? If you are micromanaging yourself right now and you're going, is my intuition going to serve me? The thing is, as soon as that trigger comes up in you, make peace with it and do it bloody quick. The reason I say that is because when you move back into union with self, it's peaceful, right? You get to that. Then when you move into union or reunion with twin, you do not want to be micromanaging that energy because it's stifling. It is a reaction similar to a karmic. If you're going into it going, what are you doing with your phone? What are you doing with your cash? Oh, but I think we should do this. Oh, but I think we should do that. You're being the masculine energy, right? Live the experience and dream the dream within it, but you're going to get triggered. You will, but know and be open to the road in duality with the limitless energy. You're in the high priestess energy, feminines. Stay in your high priestess energy. Again, don't be angry that you were that energy. You're looking at the past like that's bad. Okay, there's going to be gifts. There is going to be gifts from this. You are the gift as well. There is going to be gifts within this connection. Many of you, if you felt a transformation, yeah, this is almost a suggestion, and this seems ironic. The reason I'm saying this is, look, okay, masculines have strength, the Ace of Wands, and then the Tower. This is something that's playing out, I do feel, during the Venus retrograde and the node shifting, but I'm feeling it's more between April and May. Now, I'm going to turn into the energy in, probably 48 hours again. But at the moment, what's coming through is you're to ignore the vibration. And the reason I say this, you're going to potentially be starting to experience, it's going to feel like a psychic attack, Ascension symptoms. It's going to be heavy. My guides are showing me when that energy comes in, you need to ignore it. Now, I don't feel it's that you're ignoring circumstances. I feel, if anything, it's polar opposite. You're focusing on it a bit too much. But hopefully through the things I've said, it's going to help you do some energy work on yourself and you're going to look at it differently. If not, book a reading and I'll do a coaching session with you. With that here, I'm sensing it's ascension because you need to rise above it. Rise above it. When they're about to move through, it's because they're letting go of something that I'm feeling, and I'm going to pull a few cards. I'm feeling conflict. I'm feeling fights. I did over here. Okay. I'm going to pull another one. There is something that's going to play out. It's not going to be so fun. It's going to make them mad. I don't feel it's about you, but there is a dynamic that's going to play out. Yeah. They're done. Okay, letting go. Whatever has been really hindering them and being harsh, this can even be words about you, words about them, people attacking them. This is going to gobsmack them. It's going to absolutely floor them. You are going to feel that vibration. Now, you may know what it is. You may know that due to the fact that it's been ignored, it's going to come up. Also, at an energetic level, you need to actually have some crystals on you. And the crystals, I would say, is going to be anything orange, like I'm feeling tiger eye or black tourmaline, onyx. But anything for your base chakra and the fair base frequency, sacral chakra, because it feels like it's bang gonna trigger you, right? It's gonna trigger you. Now, you knew this was going to happen, but you also don't want to waste your time. So there can be some frustration due to that. It's like, okay, well, this can even be something that you've done. But you're going to be happy. Like, this is, you do tend to find during certain cycles, it can be, especially during Venus retrograde, some of us tend to think, oh, it's all negative. No, if you've had negative times, you can 9 times out of 10 get positive things coming back to you. So new things are coming back to you in a positive way. But there's this hurdle that has just not been jumped over. It's been really irritating. Now, what's coming through external, and this does pertain to karmic energy of blockages, rashness is being assessed. Again, I'm feeling very young energy, but again, to do with the growth and the movement. Again, moving into May, we've got the nodes shifting into Sagittarius, which is very Jupiter energy. About expansion, both energies are meditating and go, okay, we need to stop. We need to look at the ways we're growing. We need to be very accountable. What is this new picture? What's this new picture we're painting? All of this energy is going to be non-traditional, which is very much what TF Path is. This is when the nodes shift. This is when we have the eclipse in Cancer, June. Outcome for transformation and victory, July. Now, it's not saying you're not coming into union in May. It is not saying you're not coming into union in April. You need to come into union with self. Once you make peace with that, you will start getting communication coming in. Okay? You can't be in your twin flame, and this is why it's good that the nodes are moving into Gemini, that Venus is in Gemini, because with these relationships, you can't do them traditional. And I've been in union for a while. You cannot do them traditional. Temperance is no. You are traditional, but it's because you've been conditioned traditional. So you have the balance of both, but you can't deal with this like a normal 3D relationship. You just can't. You will not be able to control this person. You will bounce back off each other. You will not be able to control each other. And if you do, it will break it. As soon as you get the trigger, go into that energy and sit with it. And that's why I say this year and next year is when I'll get the most bookings, because I've already lived that vibration. I already know how it feels. Those of you who are in communication right now and you know what I'm talking about. And nodal energy, it's changes. So it's the new way. Yeah, it's the new way of being. Any questions while I'm here? I may come back after and I'll do a super chat separate, but I'm going to leave it on this night so I can answer my TF phone call, because we're shifting things around. And I shall come back and do super chat, and I'll also do the updates for the Venus retrograde energies, because I think I've got 6 more mini reads to do. God, I like to chew off a lot, don't I? I thought, oh, I'll just come for a quick chat. 2 hours later. Jeez. When the energy comes with masculine, guys, do breathe the energy out. Don't fall into that frequency. Don't get into that dark energy, and try not to allow that person to deal with that conflict. You must let them, because all energies that we have are lessons, right? And if you are trying to help that person learn that lesson, there can be lessons together as well, yes. But you need to let them learn that. That's okay. I'm sorry I'm so unorganised at the moment. It's because I'm getting organised. I mean, if you saw my office at the moment, I've got my chili plants because I'm preparing for winter. And I was getting hay fever. Well, he was getting hay fever. What if you feel you're over the twin flame concept? It's not a concept. The thing is, I got to that too. The thing is, if you are actually a twin, you need to understand that, in the initial stages, it's deeply romanticized. I didn't know I was a twin 4 years ago. But when I look at it, my transformation, just because my twin wasn't in my life, the karma did not stop. The transformations, it doesn't matter who you're with. Those themes are going to come in for you to unblock. So it's almost like that double-sided sword is that. The realization that you will learn those lessons from whoever it is. You will attract that. And once you reach a certain point in your journey, I found, it's not for everyone, but honestly, I'm speaking truth. I would have journeys with other energies that just wouldn't last very long. And that was because I'd reached a certain point. 20 years. Now, that's probably because I was a psychic medium and didn't know I was a TF. I was doing things differently. But it did help. It helped for me to be a coach. It helped for me to look at points of view of, and definitely with the amount of karma we had in our twin flame journey, like the karmics and scenarios. I mean, I have seen it all. I've seen it all. Diggle, you will attest to that. Mark, he will. Some of the things that I've seen is like, wow, man, I could write 50 books. And it's made me a different person. So you can't, you will keep learning it, and you will, when the universe wants you guys to be back together to learn a lesson, it doesn't even have to be at an intimate level. It will be in a communication style. It will be at a different level. Oh, thanks, Star. Yeah, I've seen some ugly things. I've been down dark alleys and yeah. The connection will only, on here, or in general with TF, the connection usually will never stop. Yum. Can I come eat? I made sushi the other day. I had tuna left over, so I made tuna sushi. I mean, I love my seafood. And then I made some squid rings and I put them in the sushi. What else did I make? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of cooking lately. Miso, yeah, I love miso soup. Man, twin flames sound like... Well, the word twin flame, like I use it more for searchability, but you don't, it's... The term twin flame, it's like sometimes it does hinder you in the journey at the end because you almost like feel bound because you look at how you're in and out and in and out. I wouldn't say you're at the beginning of the journey. I'd say you're at the end of the journey because you're disconnecting from it because it doesn't govern you anymore, which is good. It's healthy. It means you've dropped the code of... See, attachments, even terms are attachments. Even the tag is an attachment. Even the need to explain to them what it is like, so you don't have faith in yourself that you would need a tag to keep them, that the tag somehow spiritually is going to force them to stay with you. That's why I say counterpart. It's just like partner. I call them the boss, quite frankly, but it's more from a sarcastic point of view. But yeah, team. Oh, geez. Yeah, I'd agree. Anyway, I'll be back. Thank you for the donation. I will come back shortly and I will do super chat. So if you do want it, comment after the video. Otherwise, I'll just start. So leave a comment about the video after it's uploaded, not on the chat, and mention if you actually want to have a super chat.